Thanks, Eric. I'll get right into it, and we have a speed dating exercise in the next 9.5 minutes. 8 years ago, we entered Nevada as a prospector generator model. In 2014, we hit something we believe is the next exciting gold discovery in Nevada. And about 3 to 4 years ago in French Guiana, we picked up an asset which has 4.3 million ounces of gold. Just a few notes on what happened in 2014 for Columbus Gold. As I just indicated, we tested a number of projects in Nevada with spending other people's money. We think we've probably hit one of the next big discoveries in Nevada. We've signed up 9 CAs with a number of the majors in Nevada, and they're taking a look at what we may have. Also, we signed the definitive agreement with Nord Gold. Nord Gold is going to spend $30 million taking our asset from the 4.3 million ounces of inferred we have today all the way to the feasibility study. We completed a financing in September of $5.4 million with no warrant with a strategic investor out of New York who runs a multi-billion-dollar resource and energy fund. What he did, he came in and he vetted out the project in Nevada and also took a look at French Guiana. He says, you know what, let's just close this thing. I don't need a warrant, and I'll get my guys to come in and clean out the next 12 million in the market, and we cleaned out another 12 million shares in September. We have about 5 million in cash right now. We have 0 debt, and just recently we were named in the top 10 mining companies on the TSX Venture just a couple of weeks ago based on liquidity, capitalization, and appreciation from what happened in 14. So 14 was a really good year for us. Over the next year, we're going to be spending about 21 to 22 million commencing in about March through April and May of 2016. The budget in Nevada is actually 10 million, but we're starting in May, running through this year, another 3.5 million in the first quarter of next year. And again, in French Guiana, we have Nord Gold, which if anybody doesn't know the company, they're one of the fastest growing gold companies in the world. 7 years ago, they did not exist. They have grown through acquisitions, mergers, takeovers. Their all-in average cash cost is $787 sustaining dollars. Their goal is to bring the Paul Lisnard project in their pipeline of development projects. Just a little bit about our management team. Robert Justra formed this company 8 years ago, an investment banker from the early 90s. The other 2 key people on this sheet are Andy Wallace. Andy Wallace has been running our projects in Nevada since 2005. When he joined the company, he told Robert, give me 8 years and I'll find you something. 8 years later, in the fall of 13, early 14, he found the East Side project, and he thinks he's onto something, what he calls potentially his 10th discovery heading to production. He's credited with 9 other mines heading to production. And Rock, he's been instrumental in taking our assets in French Guiana and working closely with Nord Gold. The goal that last year we did was we did a 26,000 meter drill program to take the resource from the inferred level up to the indicated level. So here's my 30-second lesson on French Guiana, why we feel it's a comfortable place to be in. It's part of France, it's part of NATO, they use the euro, there's a multi-billion-dollar spaceport down there that everybody uses from around the world. And for the first time ever, last year it was ranked second only to Chile of one of the best places to be in South America, ahead of all the other countries. Likely because in 2012, French Guiana finally established their legislation. And if you look on the top right, the blue and the yellow areas, blue is bad. It means biological reserve. Stay out of it. You're not going to do anything in that area. If you head into the yellow, you can open pit and underground and do what you wish. So this was last year. We spent about $12 million of Nord Gold's money taking the asset through a 26,000 meter drill program, environmental baseline studies, and metallurgical program, which yielded 95 to 98% recovery. Beautiful, better than we expected. And we actually earned $1.2 million last year as the operator. Every dollar they spend, we make a dime. I think this year we're going to earn about $700,000. So what we did is we looked at the deposit. Here's the longitudinal with the UFC and LFC zones. We found there's a lot of spots they never drilled. We drilled them, we hit. We found exceptional grades where we thought we would. The next slide here. So this is the plan view. What we found on the western portion, which Nord Gold and Columbus wanted to see, was high-grade material on the western side. So on this sheet, you can't really maybe see from where you are, but 50 meters of 4.5, 37 of 409, 39 of 4.5. So what we found is a high-grade core in the western portion and the other side on the eastern remains at the 0.8 to 1.2 gram material. It's perfect what Nordgold wants to do. They don't want to spend $1 billion project 15 minutes away from us by helicopter that Newmont announced at the Marion project. We want to build a mine here, or Nord does, and maybe us as partner, for less than 500 million capex. So this is the upcoming year. As I just indicated, in the western portion, we found the high-grade core. We needed to see what we can do and bring that up to the measured category by the end of this year. We're going to do 8,000 meters on the western portion. We're going to test the saprolite layer, find how much gold is sitting in the top 15 to 50 meters of the deposit. And we're actually going to drill another 5,000 testing where SRK wants us to put the mill. The little rock in the bottom left is a little joke internally we have, is we're about to line up a pad to drill for condemnation drilling of where to put the mill, but one of the local miners came over and said, I wouldn't put a mill here, there's gold everywhere and you haven't tested it yet. And this is an interesting slide. Most companies that you'll see give away 70 to 80% of their asset by the time they get to feasibility stage. We're actually going to retain 49.99%. It gives us at Columbus the opportunity to build a mine with them and go dollar for dollar, or we can sit back and do nothing and let Nordgold build the mine. So if you look here, if Nordgold builds a mine of 400 million, which they're actually hoping to do of less than 500, and we prove up 2 to 3 million ounces of gold by next year, we'll keep 15%. The interesting thing is we're promising to the market a feasibility through this deal in March 17. Nordgold and all their literature has it in November 2016 on their website. So I guess they're ahead of us a bit. This is a cartoon we have internally that shows that right now we have 4 million ounces. We have a market cap of about $60 million. So if you look in the little bottom brown Paul Isnard circle, that's where we sit today, about a 60 million market cap and $10 to $12 in situ valuation for the company. We get a free ride to the top. I'm not sure what the top valuation number will be. I know that Probe Mines got taken out for about 120 per in situ measured and indicated PEA ounce, but that's Goldcorp in Ontario with a mill. But we'll get a free ride to the top and hopefully increase the valuation of the deposit as we spend nothing from our treasury for our shareholders. I won't say too much about Nevada. It's a wonderful place to be. We've been there for 8 years. And there's Andy. Andy's been credited with 8 to 9 mines that all went to production. He's been spending our money. He joined us back in 2005. Asked for 8 years. We kept the best projects. And East Side, again, what a wonderful place to find a project next to the highway with a power line, water wells next to Tonopah. West Kirkland's down here. I think they're looking to mine 0.4 grams per ton. When we drilled off East Side, we found 1.5, 1 gram material over 50 meters, 60 meters, 40 meters at surface. So what we did is we took a look at the model, and I won't get into too much geology here, but we found this rhyolite dome, brecciated low-grade stuff. And we drilled at depth, and we got a bunch of PhD geologists in the room, and they took a look and said, if we hit in the middle there from the bottom of the hole to surface, it's a game changer for what we might have found at this rhyolite dome. But what Andy wanted to do is, you know what, I think there's a bigger potential here. So what he did is before we staked and announced too much about the project, he took some old Newmont gravity data, sent his geos out on the project, mapped and sampled the heck out of it, ran the data that Newmont likely misinterpreted, and we found another 41 rhyolite domes just under cover, about 15 or 20 meters. So it's become a district scale project. We've lined up a program this year for 45,000 meters. It's actually 64,000 meters, but we're starting in May, so May over to May is about 150,000 feet of drilling. And we'll do metallurgy, we'll do a resource update, so it's a really busy year in Nevada for us. We have 14 other projects, but we'll probably sell them or drop them or vend them out. Quick review of our capitalization, 136 out, 60 million market cap, 5 in the bank. A private investor, he's the guy that came in out of New York. He bought 9.9. His colleagues out of New York actually bought 9.9 also. So they have just sub at 20%. Euro Resources is actually IM Gold. Oplata was the original property vendor holders. So you add it up with Nordgold having 9, 65 to 68% of the company is controlled by 6 different groups. And we have a number of analysts and newsletter groups that follow our story. We do anticipate also a number of other mining analysts following our stories post the resource update. It's a really busy year in regards to catalysts. So here's a really busy slide that I made last night. So we're spending $11 million at Paul Isnard of somebody else's money. We're going to spend $10 million year over year from May to May in Nevada. We've got 2 resource updates coming for Paul Isnard. We have a PEA coming for the first time ever with the economics. So we're curious what Nord Gold will do at that point in May or June. And I think that's it, and a resource update and a bunch of drilling in Nevada.